Have Ibanez and Tim Henson designed the ultimate nylon acoustic electric guitar? Let's find out. Hey everyone, it's Dre DiMura here today with my friends from Guitarcenter. We're checking out the Ibanez Tim Henson TOD100FMN nylon acoustic electric guitar in toasted marshmallow. If you're coming from an electric or steel string acoustic guitar background, you might be uncomfortable approaching the nylon string. Typical classical or Spanish style guitars usually have less access and a larger body for resonance, meaning they can be a bit uncomfortable to play. These guitars aim to bridge that gap and bring this sound, texture, and feel to more guitarists. Ibanez originally brought out the TOD100N in 2022, opening the door for more and more guitarists to access the sound of the nylon string in their guitar toolkit. If you're already familiar with the TOD100N, this is going to look and feel familiar, but with some premium upgrades. So we have a flame maple top with okoume back and sides, and this exquisite ebony fingerboard with Tree of Death inlay. We have battery port on the back, controls here on the top, and a top-facing sound hole for better resonance. You have the gold classical tuners, just like a traditional nylon string. And all of this in a nice thin profile for maximum playability, especially if you're more comfortable on electric than acoustic. So those are some of the great surface level aesthetics of the guitar. Now let's take a deeper look at the electronics. So the TOD100N model has a Fishman S-Core and an Ibanez AEQ 210TF preamp. The TOD100 has a bit more going on because it's a 2-pickup system and it has Fishman Aura technology. So you have a Fishman Acoustic Matrix undersaddle pickup and a Fishman bridge-mounted body pickup. But what does that mean for you? So having the body pickup allows you to blend in more of the sound of the guitar body for percussive playing, like in flamenco or acoustic fingerstyle. It'll also let you dial in more bass and low mid-range frequencies in your single note lines. So here's the body pickup turned all the way down. And all the way up. The middle knob is what really takes this guitar to the next level. It uses Fishman Aura technology to let you blend in the image of a perfectly produced studio nylon guitar sound that you can blend with the sound from the pickups. So here's the sound of just the undersaddle pickup. And with the Fishman Aura knob at 50%, and 100%. Obviously they both sound really good. I would use the pure pickup sound if I were running into like an acoustic amp or some pedals and effects even, where there's other stuff, maybe a preamp or like a reverb pedal adding some grit and also some timbre to the tone. And then having that knob to blend in the Aura technology when I'm running DI without any processing to give it that nice studio produced sound. It's a lot easier to play and it just feels better under your fingers. And if you're playing the TOD100 in a live environment and experiencing issues with feedback, the middle knob is a push-push, which is a phase inverter for the pickups and will help you deal with any noise. The guitar feels great. The first thing that stood out to me was the range of sound that you can get just from the strings. The low wound strings have that great like cello tone, like a rosined cello bow across the strings. The kind of that nice rattle that you get from a nylon string guitar. And then the nylon strings themselves on the top end have a really nice glassy sound. Great attack as well. Really snappy and glassy. Obviously, the high axis here is what sets this apart from a traditional Spanish or classical style nylon string, being able to get all the way up to the 22nd fret here. Like my nylon string at home doesn't even have a 22nd fret. So I actually had to practice all these examples that I prepared on my electric, and I only got my hands on this last night to start warming up and playing them on here. And it honestly, like, the jump was super easy. It translated really well from what I was doing on my electric at home to this guitar because it has the feel and the approach of an electric, but the sound of the nylon string acoustic. You know, when we're looking for a new sound as guitarists, we tend to gravitate toward like maybe a new tone or different pickups or, you know, a different pedal or amp or something like that. But this obviously like brings the sound of nylon string into an entirely different realm, and it definitely affects the way that you approach the instrument. Like the tone always changes what you play. If I plug in, you know, a humbucking guitar into like a cranked British style amp that's very dry, you know, I'm gonna play very different licks than I'd play with like an ultra high gain 80s chorus tone, super saturated with high output pickups, right? That like dictates the approach. And with this guitar, like, you know, it unlocked things that I probably wouldn't have played otherwise, just given the footprint and the nature of the instrument. It kind of opened up a lot of doors and took away some of the crutches that I might fall into otherwise, like on the electric. I do a lot of bending, obviously a lot of, you know, double stops, harmonics, things like that, like a lot of like affectations, and that's a big part of my sound on electric. But with the nylon string, you obviously can't lean on that. And I think, you know, in this case, it's actually kind of cool because it inspired me, pushed me to adapt and achieve those textures in a different way. Like in some of the examples, I was, you know, hitting some harmonics, I was using some tremolo picking, which you kind of have to do to adapt to having less sustain than you would on electric. It definitely pushes you to play differently, and it inspires things that you might not otherwise play on the instrument that you're comfortable with. I think the easy assumption would be that a guitar like this encourages nylon string players to play more like electric and electric players to play more like someone who plays nylon string, but I don't think that's the case. I think this kind of exists somewhere in the middle, that you can discover some things that might surprise you and inspire you as far as the direction that it pushes you into play. There's been a lot of innovation in this space with nylon acoustic electrics, but this thing shreds way harder than anything else I've tried due to the access, the neck profile, and the soft wood of the ebony fingerboard. What really struck me about this guitar is possibility. Being able to tap into sounds and genres that I love but can't necessarily play on one other instrument. Kind of gives me access to the neoclassical world, the Django jazz realm, flamenco, Spanish style guitar. Felt like I kind of had superpowers to tap into some of those sounds and play some licks and things that I might not otherwise be able to execute like just on an electric or a traditional nylon string guitar. So combining all of those elements of playability and sound in a way that inspired me to play things that I wouldn't otherwise have played. During the intro, for example, there's that very like Yngwie influenced neoclassical line, into kind of a flamenco thing with the thirds. Gotta throw in some harmonics there for Tim. And then the Django thing here. And then we had this very traditional classical part. Another Django thing. I would never be able to combine all of those elements on an electric or a traditional nylon string guitar. So I asked the question in the beginning of the video, have Tim and the folks at Ibanez created the ultimate nylon acoustic electric guitar? And to say yes would honestly be to undersell this thing. I think in their effort to do so, they've genuinely created something incredible, a new category, a new class of instrument, almost an entirely new type of guitar. Just given the playability and the sound, the sheer range of tonal options with the pickup combination, the Fishman Aura technology, the high fret access, just all around, this guitar completely blows me away, and I think it's gonna inspire thousands of guitar players around the world to try different things and discover new things in their playing that are gonna surprise them. So if you want to learn more about the Ibanez Tim Henson TOD100FMN, you can check it out at guitarcenter.com, call one of their expert gear advisors, or head into your local GC to play one for yourself.